short presentation here from you, from our friends over at SalesForce. Let me just call her in, Rachel Boyles, who's no stranger to our events. She's the product marketing manager over at SalesForce. SalesForce has supported this summit for over a decade, and they do it every 6 months, twice a year. They've just are phenomenal partners for us, and are big supporters of this event series. So thank you up front just to the whole organization for that. And we've got about a 10-minute presentation here from Rachel. Rachel, you're going to be discussing interactivity and the impactful inbox. Is that correct?
That I am.
All right. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Now I've got chili cheese tots on the brain. So
yeah, I think everyone does at this point. Well, well, look, I won't keep you. Just jump right into it. I'm very much looking forward to this, and I think you just share your screen, and we'll be good to go.
All right.
Yes.
And, yep. You can see the slides.
Yep, looking great. So please take it away.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say thanks to you, John. Thanks to Media Post for continuing to bring us all together and for giving us an opportunity to at least do it virtually. I know we all would love to be in Deer Valley. I think they've got some snow, or they at least have some skiing. I think I checked the slopes, but yeah, it would have been nice, but it's nice to just be together virtually. Definitely looking forward to the roundtable later. And I also just want to say thanks to Media Post for the stellar the description or kind of title or the theme for this session or these couple of days. I think it captured everything going on really well, and it really inspired me in kind of putting these slides together. And also just thanks everybody for joining today and being on. So in this quick 10 minutes, I am going to be talking about some stuff that is to come in the future in the next couple of months. So just this quick reminder, the requisite make purchasing decisions based on things that are currently available. But really to start us off, and as inspired by the theme, what a year it has been. I mean, I think this is kind of our thank you slide. This is like thinking about the Salesforce community. All these pictures are people in actual places and with each other. So I think definitely missing out on these opportunities, but I think that we've got a picture of here, someone with a mask on shopping. So we're all doing our part. We're staying at home. We're meeting virtually, making the most of it, but really, you know, what a year it has definitely been, and what a year it has been to be a marketer. And I think that the playbook has changed, and it's probably changed like 5 times this year so far, maybe, who's counting, but we're all trying new things. So kudos to all of the email marketers on today, all the marketers who have made changes this year, and really thinking about going through my own inbox and thinking about how email has been working overtime. Marketers and email marketers always wear multiple hats, but especially this year, we have had to put on the hats of a CEO and write a CEO letter and all the things that are changing in store operations, and ultimately thinking about how you're keeping customers informed, like this example from Nordstrom about, you know, the store is opening, but you know, that information is always changing. It could be different next week or the next couple of months, but also giving the confidence to our customers that, you know, making it safe for them, to encouraging new types of engagement, digital engagement, contact lists, like how can we make it easier for our customers to continue to get their experiences and do it in a way that's safe for everybody, to shifting messaging and strategy. Like I love this example from Talk. If you ever have a chance to hear their founder CEO speak, I saw him at the Fast Company virtual conference, and just a big pivot for them from going from a reservation-based system really focused on higher end restaurants to, you know, those restaurants not normally having pickup or delivery, and how do they help those restaurants shift. So just a lot of really big changes that you all have been making, and it doesn't go unnoticed. But ultimately, we've all made these changes that we thought were previously, you know, we were visionary. There are things we'd all sit around and talk about. It's what we talked about here, like how can we make things more digital? But it really became mandatory this year. So thinking about all of the ways as a consumer, you know, any of the things I experienced, any of the changes that a brand made for me as a consumer this year to help me get those simple pleasures in life still, and help us feel like things haven't changed too much, whether it's like getting to do a virtual meeting to a virtual doctor's appointment, listening to virtual conference or concerts live in my living room, all the things I've been able to buy online and get delivered, and also just getting food delivered from my favorite local places. So I think it's definitely felt this element of being grateful as a consumer to all of the things that marketers were doing, brands were doing to try to make this transition not as challenging as it potentially could be, and just to give us a few wins along the way. So to create these experiences, marketers have implemented new workflows and new technologies. And one in particular that we've definitely seen, especially in the email front, but overall in marketing, make a really big entrance this year has been around interactivity. It's something we've all been talking about for quite some time. I think last year we had a roundtable specifically just about this topic. And what I took away from it is that we all define it differently. It means something different to each marketer and to each brand. And what it really means to us, is about this two-way interaction between consumer and brand, taking an action in the platform that customer is actually using. But today, when we talk about interactivity, channels like what we're using for email messaging or push messaging, we're really ultimately driving users to the web, or we're driving them to a mobile app. That's what creates that back and forth with a brand. And really the question that we're starting to ask is, what if we could start to consolidate that into the channel that the subscriber, the consumer, the customer is actively using? So ultimately, our vision for interactivity is where the consumer is able to take the next step with the brand, that meaningful, relevant, and purposeful kind of action, and do so in the channel that they prefer, and then turning all of the right channels into two-way interactions. Maybe not every channel needs to be a back and forth or a conversation, but picking the right ones, doing it purposefully, and extending some of those web experiences, bringing them back into the channel, and not necessarily just driving to the web, but creating more of that type of conversation and communication. And lastly, the vision of it ultimately is for a marketer to do it easily, where you're not having to spend hours searching for things and watching all these different webinars and getting up on all the Slack channels, that it's ultimately at your fingertips as a marketer, lower code, drag and drop types of things. So it's easy to add into your communications. And where we saw it happen this year in particular, just one small example, I know interactivity is popping up all over the place. We're seeing so many cool experiences in our inboxes, but just sharing this one from Vimeo. It's actually, they had submitted it for the award, the EIS awards. They were one of the finalists specifically for this life cycle program, but they brought interactivity into it and using it even from the very beginning of an experience with a subscriber, gathering preferences, finding out what's important to them. And then I think what's really key about all of this, especially like a forum, an interactive type of forum, is all the data that they're then able to gather around, how they plan to use it and what their goal is, which then Vimeo was able to use that data to kick off follow-up journeys that were really specific for those different use cases, and even give the right offers that are much more related to that subscriber's goal. So lots of great stuff that we're already seeing from an interactive perspective in the inbox. Vimeo in particular, they were able to put it together by using the interactive email form block. And ultimately, what I love about it, and I think the piece that we really keep diving and digging deeper into, is that collecting more customer data. The idea of them completing the form and sharing information is great. Like we're definitely driving and boosting that engagement, but it's that data that has the much longer lifetime out of it that you can then use for personalizing future things. I think I also love the idea of connecting it to other parts of the business, other areas, sharing that data, kicking off journeys and experiences and other areas as well. So like I said, that form block, something that they were able to use that we just launched earlier this year. What a long year it's been. It feels like last year, but it was just in April. But ultimately what's great, they're templates. They can just, you can drag and drop them in. And I think what I love about it are the templates that are around progressive profiles or feedback, but also like lead forms and case submission. but also free form. You can build the form of your dreams really, or based on what types of actions or things that you're looking to get more information on. So really thinking about what's there and what's going in the vision of interactivity and next for us. And I think for a lot of marketers is AMP for email. I've heard it talked about yesterday, probably some today, it'll come out. Just such an exciting space for email, really kind of bringing a new language into the space. So for those of you that aren't super familiar, or you haven't talked about it recently, but AMP for email being an open source language that Google created, and really just sending another MIME type of an email if we're getting a little bit more technical, but ultimately just bringing new functionality into email, which is really exciting. And for us, we see this as a continuation in our focus on interactivity. It can sit well next to the form block. I think these different types of interactive elements can play well together. They can be used as fallbacks for each other. But really, I think what I'm excited about AMP is the future use cases of it, like the more advanced things like scheduling an appointment, all from the comforts of the email inbox. So things that we've all talked about and dreamed about and tried to figure out hacks around it, and actually coming into the inbox itself. But even I think this is a really sophisticated, like lots of data connecting, bringing all of your components together, to even just having something. The first quick win of AMP that we're seeing will be customers using carousels in email. So all of this to say, I don't think I clarified, but AMP for email will be soon supported in the Marketing Cloud come January. So this next release, which we're super excited about. The last thing I'm going to leave us with, usually I talk about some new ebook or something else that we have that can kind of help you go next into learning just what Salesforce is talking about in regards to email and digital. We've got Dreamforce going virtual this year, but ultimately making it accessible and available to everybody. Lots of great content, everything from me speaking with customers to probably some celebrities and some music and virtual concerts that you can stream from your living room. So cool stuff to come. I know I'm at time, but I just wanted to say thank you all again. Thank you for all the great work that you're doing to make our lives easier.
All right. Well, Rachel, great job. And as usual, an elegant and comprehensive solution for email marketers there, your Marketing Cloud. It's really great. So thanks for sharing that. And we look forward to January and the new things coming.
Yeah, some new stuff ahead. Probably, I mean, we're all just going to see better inboxes in the future. I think that's what we're excited about.
Well, that's great. So if people want to, the attendees here want to get in touch with you, can you put your contact information into the chat box?
I wrote it out just before so I could copy and paste it in.
Excellent.
That's to all panelists. Let me see, all panelists and attendees.
There you go. And hello to Blake, who we miss you, and Abby and Nicole and Sam and the whole team. Thank you for doing this, Rachel. It's always great to see you, and hope to see you in person soon.
Yeah, hopefully next year. And if anybody wants to connect with me, Twitter, LinkedIn, and I'm always kind of sharing what we're working on next. And if you want to get connected with people in product, whatever, happy to help. So
awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks again. Thanks so much for the continued support. We really appreciate it.
Always.
Until